At the main beach in Garrettstown, holidaymakers were getting in a final surf before tonight's status red wind warning comes into effect for County Cork. But Erin has warned that this will be a high-impact storm with the potential to cause significant problems and is warning people to stay indoors.
Tonight we've got severe, destructive gusts on the way. The focus of the winds tonight in particular, I would say, would be the south and west of the country, but particularly Cork, where we do have a red warning in operation.
And we would appeal to people not to get out and about, to stay at home and not to be in places that they're not familiar with while this weather system goes through.
Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks on treacherous roads. And don't swim in the sea.
Okay then, let's do it.
I mean, come on, I just don't see a problem here. Let's just do it.
Right, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do this dance, boys. Now let's do this.
And here we go.
Peter Phillips, how are you?
God, come here, did you hear the news?
No, why? What's going on?
Brian and Jer are going off to Cork.
They're not. They're not heading down, are they?
They're gone, yep.
That is mental. Did you see the weather warning?
I know, it looks terrible. Come here. If they're not blown away by the birds, they'll be blown away by the storm.
I can imagine Brian flying across the sky like Mary Poppins with a scope. They'll have great crack in the camper, so they will anyway. They'll end up in the sea. No, they're mental. Are you going yourself, are you?
No, I don't think so, no. Yeah, it's a bit too rough for me.
Yeah, they're absolutely crazy. They're going to be blown off the headland. And with weather that bad, they're not going to see any birds anyway.
Yeah. No, they'll draw another blank.
Yeah. The dynamic dipping duo that is Murray and McCluskey will dip again, but sure, let them at it. We'll sit back and laugh at them in their bad weather. That's what we'll do. Yeah, okay, sure. Look, thanks for letting me know. I'll chat to you later, Peter. Okay.
No problem. Talk to you, John. Bye.
Bye, Peter. Bye, Peter. Bye, 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 bye. Fools.
Hello everybody, myself and Jer Murray, we're heading off now to Gallyhead in County Cork. We're hoping for good seabird passage. We're heading straight into Storm Ellen, so it could be quite difficult conditions. They're giving torrential rain for the morning and very strong southerly winds. Friday is looking quite good. The winds start turning southwesterly and the rain is to die down. So I think there's quite a good chance of Fia's petrol. We'll keep you updated anyway. Say hello, Jer.
Hi.
So the weather has just taken a turn for the worst. It's torrential rain, the roads are very wet and quite heavy winds. So we're about 20 minutes away, so we will probably be okay for now. I just hope it's not too bad in the morning. Over to you in the studio, Peter. Hello everybody, it's 11 o'clock. The wind is chronic. We're not right in the head, but I hope we get rewarded in the morning, as long as the camper doesn't blow over. So we're just getting everything ready for scan of the seas. Update you in the morning.
5 hours later.
Well, Brian, how are you?
John, I don't want to grip you off, but we've had a phase.
You're not serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, no way.
Yeah. The winds are looking quite good for tomorrow though, so you might get another chance. But you probably won't.
Sound. Look, congrats is the first thing I'll say. Are you serious? Did the winds look good?
Yeah, they look quite good, yeah. I'd say there could be more, so.
Alright. Here, look. Congrats. Cheers for the call. Thanks, man. Bye.
Right, I'll let you go. Cheers, John. Okay, good luck.
Hearing that the lads had a phase really was a kick in the gut, especially since Peter and I had mocked them so much the day before. So given that the weather was going to hold, I really didn't have much of a choice. It was into the car and I was on my way down the road. Even though the lads were already in Cork, I wasn't going alone, and I stopped along the way to pick up friend of the show, Cian Cardiff.
It's Ireland's best young birder! Oh!
Alright.
What's the story?
How's it going?
Pleasantries exchanged, Cian and I wasted no time getting back on the road. The motorways were easy to drive down, but the road conditions deteriorated as we entered Cork, and the stormy conditions certainly didn't make the back roads any easier to drive on. Luckily, it wasn't too long before we saw the lads fast asleep in the camper van, so we parked up beside them and tried to grab back an hour or two's sleep so we'd be that bit fresher in the morning.
Bright early. I think we're the first ones up, are we? No. But we're close. Fantastic conditions. Hopefully get that phase.
The scenery at Galley Head really is breathtaking, and for those who haven't been, it's genuinely worth a visit. Unfortunately for us on this day, things just didn't work out. The weather changed dramatically, the winds dropped off, and by the end, very few birds were passing. We could count individual numbers of Mike Shearwater. We gave it a total of about 4 hours. It was tough. In fact, it all proved to be too much for some of us. So we decided to call it a day.
Coming back from a terrible Seawatch Galley Head.
Off to the Bridges of Ross. That meant one thing and one thing only. Back to the bad roads, the traffic jams and the motorways. This is the worst thing about twitching, but unfortunately if you want to see rare birds, it has to be done. By the time we reached County Clare, there were two things on our mind. Sleep and the potential that the next morning might hold. We arrived at the bridges not long after 6 a.m. and were joined by about 25 other birders. Thank God the weather held this time and we didn't have long to wait for the action to start. Great shearwaters streamed through regularly. That's a particularly nice image we got, but the video you're about to see is much more indicative of the views we were getting. Great shearwaters really are worthy of the name, and they're actually one of my favourite seabirds. The next bird of note we saw were Sabine's gulls, affectionately nicknamed Sabs by Irish birders. These really are a beautiful little gull. After that we were treated to this leech's petrel and some storm petrels. Unfortunately we didn't manage to get any video footage of the storm petrels. So here are some photographs we've taken on previous trips. The storm petrels were a great way to end the morning, so after about 6 hours birding we decided to take a quick break, but it wasn't long till we were right back at it. The afternoon brought with it lots of skuas, starting with these long-tailed. We were also lucky to see lots of great skua. These are also known as bonksies. Most birders don't pay attention to bonksies, and that's a shame, because I think if you're willing to put in a little bit of effort, they really are beautiful birds. The bird of the trip was arguably this Wilson's petrel. We can only apologise for the following footage. It's only meant as a representation of the Wilson's characteristic bouncy flight. The Wilsons turned out to be the last big bird of the day. That's not suggesting we didn't have anything to look at, this pod of bottlenose dolphins being a particular highlight, but we also had things like sunfish and this really spectacular blue phase fulmar, which gave great views. This turned out to be a really nice way to end the day, and after about 14 hours sea watching, it was time to head home. But the excitement didn't end there, at least not for one of us.
How do you feel about saving the planet now, Peter?
Yeah, not a good couple of days for me, John. I misjudged the trip down and left myself very low on battery. And when I checked the wrong cable in the car, so I only had the slow cable.
So what you're saying is we're heading home and you're here for the foreseeable?
I'm here for the next, I think, 5 or 6 hours before the car is charging up, before I can get to the service station.
In true two-in-the-hand fashion, we had a quick cup of coffee and then wasted no time in abandoning Peter.
Don't believe me!
Sorry, Peter. You know better than anyone that in birding, sometimes it's every man for himself. The journey home didn't seem as long for some reason. Granted, I missed out in that phase, but I was really happy with the birds that I did see. And maybe that's the most important thing.